Welcome to Pick Central, Barstool's daily gambling show. Me, Big Ed, we got Hubs, we got Jason behind the glass, we got Liam behind the glass. Thursday, June 5th. Feeling a little spacey, went to the concert last night. Great time. City Field, I would say City Field, unreal spot to see like a concert.
Yeah,
Great setup.
It looked awesome.
Great setup.
Yeah. Also, headliner, great. You know.
He was truly, I was
Jelly
like...
roll into it?
Jelly roll into Post Malone. It was incredible. Post Malone truly is like one of the best performances I've ever seen. I mean, he treats every song like it's like its own performance. He's a rock star. He really like just the way he like struts around there's a point where like he like every song he puts like his whole vocal like soul into where like you can see he's visibly like spent after each one. He keeps like it's like every song he's like I got one more in me. I got one more in me. Where like he gets like I forget what song it was. He like just belted it like that final last like really and then just was like sitting on the stage like literally just like legs out like mic just like to the side of him and they just put like the little like dim light on him and just like Posty like almost give him the like energy like ramp back up.
Sick.
Also, I ran into Joey Langone, one of our social guys. Hysterical. So early in the night when I was walking in, just out of nowhere, just walked past Brian Dable. Like almost like bumped shoulders.
Oh, yeah, you wrote that in the group.
Just gave like a go G-men to him. He basically didn't even acknowledge him. But
yeah.
I think he just kind of, he like sort of nodded his head a little bit. It was kind of like very like neither of us broke stride.
Yeah.
But then I see Joey later and he's like, yo, like Dable's like right over there. I just talked to him for like 15 minutes. Great guy. He said he FaceTimed Big Cat. He was showing me the picture. Huh. Hilarious. But yeah, no, the show was awesome. So obviously I didn't really watch any sports last night. You said obviously the Yankees watched hockey a little bit.
Yeah, the problem I hilariously enough, I bet the Panthers then kind of forgot the game was on. But also it was because the Yankees were on Prime and I'm here on the Yankees and like you can't switch. That's the one real problem when a game's on a streaming service is like you can't switch to cable fast. No. So I watched the end though. I saw them tie it, and then I saw it go to OT and all that. Yeah, I mean, McDavid and Draisaitl are ridiculous, and you get those guys on a power play, it's a big problem. But great game one. If that sets up the rest of the series, we're all the better for it.
It's funny you said they forgot about it because I bet the Oilers, but I obviously was at the show, wasn't even thinking about it. And then just like picked up the phone, I think maybe like I think I was like in the car, like on the way home. Mm-hmm. And it just was like 5 minutes left in overtime, 3-3. I was like, all right, well, here we go.
Crazy.
Sudden death, and then they just won it.
Yeah, they Edmonton scored like within the first minute of the game.
They were down 3-1, right? I saw they were down 3-1.
But they scored to start right away. And then Florida all of a sudden answers with 2. And then, then another one. And then, they chipped away and found a way to get there. That's the hockey analysis you're going to get from me.
Yeah, I was going to say that's
I don't know anything.
I mean, the rematch storyline I can appreciate.
For sure. I know. I will get into it.
And just the way, like, last year it ended with, like, McDavid had to, like, awkwardly, like, go back on the ice after losing and, like, accept the, like, playoffs MVP trophy. It's still, I go back and forth how much I, like, if I would want that in, like, other sports. Like, if I want it in, like, football or, like, baseball or basketball. Like, not, like, a separate MVP. It's, like, a true, just, like, a playoff MVP.
Yeah.
Because that's way easier to give to the losing player.
Right.
Like, LeBron should have won that, like, a bunch of times.
Yeah, I mean...
there's guys throughout, like, just sports history that could have easily won it.
Yeah, or, like,
Curry gave, like, a
Curry
playoff
could have
one.
gotten it. A few of those rings. Yeah. No,
I mean, Curry still, him not getting the first one is, like...
Iguodala over...
One of the biggest, like, disgraces or, like, miscarriages of justice I've ever seen.
What's bad is, like, people just look at that, like, the words and say Iguodala MVP... And they were like, until Curry got his against the Celtics, they held it against Curry.
It was crazy.
It was held against him.
And Durant, he deserved the middle too, like no issue with it.
Yeah.
But the bookend ones should have been Curry. I mean, obviously Curry got the last one.
Thank God, because it's like a shame that it was held against him.
It still is comical. It's like the whole narrative around Iguodala getting that MVP was like, look what he did to LeBron. And then you look at LeBron's stats in the series, it's like 35, like 10 and 9.
Yeah.
Like, oh, yeah, like he really, like, held him in check. And it's nothing against Iguodala. It's like this guy, like...
But also Curry's getting triple teamed.
Yeah, and was averaging, I'm sure that series he averaged 25 and 6 or whatever. Like, clearly was the best player. But I would say, well, we're obviously going to talk a lot of finals today. We're going to do the win total props in the NFL. I promise we're going to do that. I mean, we not much in baseball yesterday, I guess. I mean, Yankees had throw up a stinker.
It was more of a game I was so happy I didn't go to. Not that I had any inclination to do so, but man, if you went to that game, there was just no excitement. There was no Clark gave up 3 in the first, and then it was it.
I mean, just like anytime I saw my phone, just seeing a notification of just like strictly Guardians scoring.
Yeah, I mean, the biggest story, Rockies sweep the Marlins.
Crazy. They won again.
Such an indictment on the Marlins. What are you guys doing?
And it's funny because I feel like now that they've swept, we have, for the last 2-3 weeks, have swept under the rug that the A's are 1-20 in their last 21 or 1-19 in their last 20.
They lose every game.
And their last win was against the Dodgers, hilariously enough.
That's nuts.
They were 23 and, or what is it? They were 22-19 or something, and now they're 23-40. I think that's what it was.
Their pitching is terrible. They don't give themselves a chance, and they're not hitting. And I mean, the Twins are on a roll. I still don't believe in the Twins, but they've been winning some games over the last month here pretty consistently. Yeah, the A's are terrible.
It just made me laugh thinking we all the talk about obviously how horrible the Rockies are.
Yeah.
And then it was the second they win a cup, they win the third one, and then it was it felt like the instant they won the third one, it was hey, the A's are 1-20 in their last 20. And everyone's wait, because even I knew they were playing horribly. I mean, I'd faded them a couple of times in the Blue Jays series where they were the Blue Jays were losing, and then they would just score 8 runs in the 8th inning and fucking win, cover the run line too.
Yep.
So I knew obviously they were playing bad, but I didn't realize holy shit, I didn't realize how badly
very
bad in the last 3-4 weeks.
And then that Sox game yesterday was outrageous.
Oh yeah, I was on the Angels too.
Yeah, Angels score 4 without getting an out.
Yeah.
And the Sox answer with 5, and the Angels answer back with 3, and it's 7-5 in the middle of the second inning. The Sox end up winning on a 308-foot walk-off homer, wrapping right around the pesky pole, which then started an absolute war on Twitter about baseball dimensions, which it's so silly. Red Sox fans really take it to heart. And it gets me a kick every time we get a short porch homer. They just cry and cry and cry. So then all of a sudden you see a 308-foot home run there in Fenway. They have nothing to stand on.
Well, because they're not used to it. The Yankees, we live in this world. Our dimensions are constantly getting questioned.
Yeah.
I feel like they don't as much because also they get away with it with the Green Monster. I mean,
you can't bring up the Green Monster.
I mean, people say there's some people out there that swear it's under 300 feet. That it's just
it's
maybe
20 feet
just
to left.
over,
you
just
gotta
over
hit a fly ball
feet.
And it's gone. There's so many 1 of 30 homers that land in the Green Monster don't get talked about.
It is me growing up, just obviously watching the Red Sox. It is crazy where it's that's just the wildest thing that there's just a massive fucking.
It's cool though.
I appreciate it.
Cool, it's the uniqueness of baseball.
Yeah, and I do kind of love where I forget how short it is at the pesky pole until that happens.
Yeah,
where it happens a few times a year.
Yeah, it's not it doesn't happen every game.
But
yeah.
Well, it's so wild. That right field, it almost goes not a 90, but the way it just it just turns in so hard, you really can wrap it around.
It's very deep to right. Once you get out, you're at 370, 380 very quickly. And it also gets slept on. I think that Fenway Park is one of the best hitters parks in baseball.
Absolutely.
The Yankees Stadium actually is middle of the pack because of their right center and left center are not easy to hit the ball. Left center is
just the porch.
Left center Yankee Stadium is as far as it gets.
I think it's just because you're not used to, you're in other ballparks. You're not used to seeing guys a righties hit these little oppo little slappers out there to right field. That's that are they just kind of slide over the wall 3. I think Jazz was 340 the other day.
Yeah.
I mean, you see the 330 feet.
I'll say this though, Fenway's Green Monster and obviously the short porch and right for Yankee Stadium. It's a shame that more stadiums don't do this shit. Some are so boring. The dimensions are just basic. That's a great part of baseball to me is the uniqueness of this shit. There should be high walls and short fences and all that everywhere. To see just normal stadiums just bothers me.
Well, I mean, also I think with the Yankee Stadium thing, it's also these teams or the fans complaining. I don't know if they figured out that you're also allowed to hit the home runs over there.
Correct. Both teams get
the boat. It's open.
That's why it's the dumbest thing in the world.
Short porch is open to both teams. Anyone can hit them over there.
I mean, it would be so sick if the Yankees could hit a button in between half innings and the fence just moved.
Just
that would be. I would sign up for that yesterday. But that's not the case.
The tank will tell you that's Manfred's MLB. That's coming.
100%.
It's coming.
100%. But yeah, other than that, baseball pretty quiet. A bunch of day games today, right? At least there should be. I haven't looked. Thursday. Yeah, we got a few. 4, 5, 6, 7.
It started already. I bet the Braves.
Starts in 4 minutes.
Desperate. I've heard Fada's last time out gave up 8 runs without getting an out.
He has not been striking out anybody, and he has very good stuff, and he, for some reason, isn't generating any swings and misses. 2 of his last 3 starts, 0 strikeouts. Very odd.
Crazy.
And he's a guy who does generate swing. He has very good like RPMs and shit. Yeah, Grant Holmes is pitching for.
He's been good.
Braves. I think he pitched against the Sox last time out.
Also, I was doing a little. The Braves bullpen is sneaky pretty good. They've been good. I was looking at it this morning before I bet them.
Okay.
And that was what got me to pull the trigger.
I don't really hate you. Wait, you have the Braves?
I bet the Braves. I just said it now
starts in 3 minutes. Starts in 3 minutes.
All right, so yeah, I'll say to the people, I'm on the Braves. I haven't looked. I'll look at some other baseball. I put in. Oh no, I also bet already over in the Cubs Nationals.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the only 2 I've locked in, but I'll have some other ones. So, and I guess now we'll get into the finals, and then we'll do NFL after.
Yeah, for sure.
But I just we've talked about it some already. I love the Thunder in this spot. I hammered it already. I bet it on
like tonight specifically or the series.
Both. I mean tonight especially. Like tonight more even than like others. I just think me and you I think are pretty lockstep here. I just think the matchup for the Thunder here is so poor. The defensive difference from the Knicks to the Thunder is just like astronomical. They defend all positions. The wings, I mean, Hartenstein and Chet inside protecting the rim. I mean, also I saw Carton say this today, and I kind of agree with them a little bit. I don't want to disrespect the Pacers, but they also, one could argue their path was like sort of favorable in terms of like the injuries the Bucks had, and they'd have to play the Celtics. The Cavs were hurt. Were flawed. I mean, I'll give us a little more credit than that, but I think defensively, it was weird. We're like, just we made our whole roster to beat the Celtics, and then it was kind of like, all right, what do we do now? And then we just didn't match up. I don't know. It's not the poop.
I'm not gonna go that way.
It's not the poop the Pacers, but I understand the take. Like I don't think it's some like crazy like rage bait take.
Yeah,
like I get it, and I don't mean that to.
I mean, the Knicks were fully healthy.
No, it was more just the like. I think his
Cavs, sure, I'll give you the Cavs.
I think his point more just like the Knicks were like they shouldn't have been there kind of thing, which I don't like agree with. I think they just were better than the Celtics.
Whose take was this?
Carton, who actually it's funny. I don't mind. I just saw it this morning, and it was a take that I hadn't heard anyone say yet. Even though I think a lot of people were like sort of think like I think it crossed people's minds, but you just were like the Pacers just played so well. You don't want to like sound like you're like Especially a Knicks fan. I didn't want to sound like a hater, and I don't want to sound like a hater. Like I said, I think they win a couple of games in this series. A lot of people don't think they'll win any or think they win one.
I'm starting to think they only win one. I said 2 yes, my prediction the other day. The more and more I think about it, like we might see tonight and just go after like at halftime, be like, "Whoa, what's happening here?"
I do think the Thunder or the Pacers will get at least one. Like I
think they'll get one.
Because like I said, they have not been good on the road. I think they've covered either one game or no games in the entire playoffs on the road. Mm-hmm. But I guess granted, they've also been significant favorites in all those games, and they will be in this series too. I guarantee they'll be at least like a 4.5 point favorite. Mm-hmm. But yeah, I mean, I just love the Thunder tonight. I like was on it a few days ago.
What's the line? 9?
Yeah, 9.5. I got 9. I think it's 9.5 right now. I'm like hammer spot 9.
Oh my God, it's 10.
Is 10 now? I bet it pretty big, like bigger than I usually bet. I think they roll. I think the role players play well for OKC. I like a Jalen Williams game tonight. I think this series is a series where he's gonna thrive. Like I think he's gonna get a lot of those like steals for easy dunks. I think he's gonna get open looks. Like he's gonna get open threes. They're gonna key on Shea as much as they can, but they don't have that like defensive stopper like that. Like Nesmith's a good player. He's not like a true like I don't think he's just like taking Jalen Williams or Shea and just like putting him in his back pocket.
Right.
He's not that kind of guy. He's not like a Lou Dort type defender where he really can like do what he did to like Anthony Edwards.
Right.
They don't have a guy like that. So I think Williams is gonna get off. Like he's gonna get his.
He's a sneaky one for MVP.
He could. I've seen a few people reference like Shea. Obviously, he won MVP, like won the scoring title. All this. I've seen. It was some trend to take like his like under points tonight.
Okay.
There's something it's 33.5. Like it's such a big number.
Well, the only thing with a big spread like this, taking under, there's a chance they don't play the fourth quarter.
You hope. I mean, I hope so.
I feel like that's a big. If you're taking unders for points, you're hoping that's happening.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't know what they do. Also, just the way, I think they just move the ball so much better than the Knicks do, too. And obviously, listen, they have the ISO ball. Like, Shea gets in his little ISO bag, but, they definitely move the ball quite a bit.
Yeah.
I like his over assists as well, even, his rebounds. I think he'll do a lot more in this series than just score.
I'll probably go Caruso threes. I just like taking it. I don't even think I'm successful doing that since I started being on the show, but I just like banging on him.
Yeah, I think I'm going to be on Jalen Williams points too. It's like 22.5.
Plus 124, 2 threes.
What honestly, any other kind of like storylines you see from the series in terms of just like obviously we've talked about like the legacy things just with like them, like the Thunder potentially being an all-time team, like, or I mean it's still, I guess, we just to like play the other side because we've been so heavy on the Thunder, like what if the Pacers were able to like pull this off? Like would this be like the greatest, like, I don't know, like underdog run in like NBA, probably in like probably the century? Like if the Pacers won the finals, from considering what people thought of them when the playoffs started, like they would have to be one of the great underdog. Like in the NBA, we very rarely see it go so like sideways.
Yeah.
Of like honestly, you could say like the Mavs last year was like, even that was like kind of rare to see like a 5 seed like make that run, like beat two teams they were underdogs.
Yeah, I mean if the Pacers pull this off, it will be.
I think it'd
nothing
be
short of unbelievable.
Like, I mean, just you thought no shot they were even getting like close winning.
You're getting talks right now of the Thunder being one of the all-time great teams.
That's what I'm saying.
It's a warranted talk too. Like they might be an 80-win team at the end of the year.
Like a team that just essentially like ran through the Eastern Conference Finals, played 6 or less in every series.
Right. And
now they're a plus 500, 550 underdog in the finals.
Yeah, like they're not getting much respect in the series.
That's why I feel like just had to like even just talk about it just because no one's even like just saying like the possibility. But
no, I'll say that.
I don't think it's gonna happen, but I'm saying just to like
that shit benefits Indiana. Like to they're gonna. That's all bulletin board material. There's no.
I mean, they've been. They were definitely a favorite in the first series, but not by a lot. I don't think even. Like they've been a
against Milwaukee.
Yeah, they were. I think a small favorite. I want to say
one.
I think they were a small favorite.
Trying to think. They were favored, but
I think it was like minus like 140. I don't think it was like crazy.
It wasn't. Obviously, it was not 2.
Because I think even
because you remember this, Dame wasn't. They had at the time Dame had a chance to come back. They thought Dame was coming back.
Well, he did. No, he played in a couple of games.
But oh sorry, coming back and like being like impactful. And like they're anticipating a full Dame's. There was thoughts he was going to play. Did he come back in 2 or 3?
I want to say 2.
Did he come back in 2?
They won 3. Like the Bucks won game 3.
Okay, but like
that was when Gary Trent went nuts.
Right. Going into the series. If you were picking the Bucks, you were like, all right, hey, Dame's back here in game 2. We're going to get him. So, yeah, there was some caution to taking the Pacers because of that.
Because I'm pretty sure I remember the Bucks for like, I think it was the series price, like Bucks, like basically just to force it, whatever, plus 3.5, was it? Just to like force a game 7?
Yeah.
Was plus like, I don't know what would it be, plus 1.5? I'm fucking up my head. Basically, they had to force a game 7 to win.
But what we're saying is, we're agreeing. Like, this would be a monumental victory for the Pacers if they pull this off. This would be unbelievable.
It's like
matchup wise, like we're trying to figure it out. Like where do they exploit them? How do you beat this Thunder team?
I'm trying to think in my head of like a team that was so unexpected like this to win in the NBA, like win a championship. I can't think of one in probably our lifetime. I'm trying to think of anyone that really. Like totally out of nowhere, just made a run and won the finals.
No, this would be like if the Nets.
You want to know who I guess you could say like kind of like the Pistons in like 2004.
Okay.
Like they were massive underdogs to the Lakers and they won in 5.
Yeah, I mean this would be like if the Nets beat the Lakers, right? Something like that. Maybe I'm shitting the Pacers a little too much because the Nets Lakers that was very lopsided.
But also it's the Lakers were the Lakers. Like they'd already won.
Right.
Well, they'd won at least
Thunder
one by
team
that.
hasn't won.
They'd won back to back, or they won one because the Nets won in 2002. Oh no, they won 2 already. They were going for the 3-peat. So I mean, the Lakers were like established,
right?
And that was when Kobe was really ascending and becoming like who he was.
Yep.
Yeah, I just can't. I think the Pistons are probably the closest, just because
Pistons a good one.
They were such big underdogs in the finals, and crazy to think they won it in 5, like just like ran through them. Damn. Yeah, honestly, it wasn't even something I planned to, like, before doing the show, like, planned to talk about. It just was like...
It's a good talking point.
Someone's got to, like, bring up, like, if they somehow pull this off. You can't just talk
about the Thunder. Like, you got to give the Pacers... There's 2 teams in the fucking finals, and the Pacers have played very well to this point. They're not here accidentally. They beat the Knicks.
I'm trying... What's the Pacers... In your brain, what's the Pacers' path? Like, how do they win 4 games?
Halliburton is, like, that guy every single game. And... Neesmith doesn't miss a beat from what he looked like against the Knicks and the Cavs. and Miles Turner is going to have to play down low, and be a rebounding force here. And I don't know how comfortably he's doing that because he wants to stay outside and bang threes. And
it's tough because Hartenstein's a guy that obviously he'd rather bang inside, but he's not just a liability on the outside. You obviously prefer him inside, like I said, but
he wants to be inside. Hartenstein.
No, that's what I'm saying. Are you able to pull him? I'm also curious the way they use him rotationally.
Yeah.
He obviously didn't play much with Gobert.
Yeah, there's sometimes they just don't play.
I would think this is a series where he'd play more because they can dominate inside.
Yeah.
I think they should be able to dominate rebounding with him and Chet.
Yep.
So I'm curious how much because he went from playing almost 30 minutes a game, 30 to playing not even 20. I think he averaged 19 point something in the conference finals.
Yeah, they leaned on Chet.
So he really was he was in the rotation still, but not nearly as much of a factor he had been all year.
Mm-hmm. I don't know, man. The Thunder, I think it's on the Thunder in tennis. It's on your racket. I think it's Thunder's choice of how the series goes. They dictate it. I don't think it's more the Pacers can win it. It's the Thunder would lose it. As that sounds?
They can pick how they want to win.
Right,
that's something we'll say.
They would have to play poorly. Dagnall would have to suck he would have to make coaching.
Yeah, no doubt. Have to shoot poorly. All guys have to play poorly.
Yeah, Shea would have to just be off his game.
I mean, we know it firsthand that if there's a team that can have a ancillary character series, it's the Pacers.
Yeah.
Have the role guys just go crazy.
Yeah.
All of a sudden,
Emhart's got to play a lot better. He has not had a good postseason, I feel like.
He wasn't great in the Knicks series. And obviously, he killed us last year.
Yeah, no. He was kind of the weak link in the Knicks series, it felt like.
Yeah, he had a couple of tough games, 1 for 9.
So he's got to step up because he's a very good player, and he can, and he's very clutch normally. So he would have to be, if there's a path, it part of it is Nembhard has to play very well.
I think because part of me The Thunder works. The Thunder, obviously they go a little slower than the Pacers. The Pacers just go so fast. But I feel they really don't mind. It's so true. I sit here and I'm just they really could. It's they can choose their own path. They just have so many more paths to victory. They can really choose if they want to go inside. They just have they want to just defend the balls off them. I mean, they can just do so many different things. Oh, man.
I don't know, man. I hope it's a series.
I hope for my bet tonight, I would love them to roll. I hope just for the sake of basketball fans, we get a competitive series.
Yeah, I mean, because after this, it's just baseball. It's just so this is the last NBA we're getting. I hope it's a good series, man. I don't want it to be a blowout.
And I also think I'm very curious. Not that I really care about it, but I'm just kind of I get just fascinated by it. Is the ratings thing that's definitely going to be a talking point in the series? And especially if the Thunder win big game 1.
Right.
Because then it'll be everyone, because obviously we're in a spot now where we're so game to game that we're all people that do this. Anyone, all fans, you're going to overreact to every game because you only that's the only talking points you have.
Indy's got to prove they can hang in this series to make it watchable.
Yes, for sure.
For the we're going to watch, but for the for the casual crowd, Indy's got to prove early they can hang in the series, and then you're going to get maybe some really good ratings because. In theory, if the Pacers play their game and there's good pace here and high scoring, it's very watchable. But it's not name driven.
Well, that's what you just said. I think it'll be a very fun brand of basketball on both sides. But it's just whether the Pacers can really hang and make it a series. But yeah, I mean, I'm on the Thunder big. I bet I'm going to be on Jalen Williams points tonight.
Haven't decided how I'm going to go besides the Caruso, but I can see myself on the Thunder.
I'm going to take some Shea assist or rebound props. I think I'll tweet all those out though. PMT stats shout out him for keeping track of all our stuff. I would say we're obviously in that middle point. We don't want to just talk about the NBA Finals all day. We can only talk so much about one.
We can only preview a series so much.
Yeah. It's always tough when you get into this Super Bowl time. It's 2 fucking weeks.
Yep.
And you're trying not to just blow your load on just every take you have. So I want to do some NFL. I want to go with a quick rundown. I said it yesterday. We kind of in that point now where we know who teams are in terms of roster construction. There's obviously going to be a few moves. You have the Steelers out there that don't know their quarterback situation. Maybe it's Rodgers. Maybe it's Kirk Cousins. But I want to just go down the list of team totals. I'll go in
be Rodgers.
Alphabetical. I think so too. I think he's gonna play.
Didn't that guy who knows the Steelers well, he tweets out rumors the Steelers say Rodgers is a done deal now? Maybe that's just my Steelers friend sending that.
I mean, he did that thing with. Do we talk about it in this show? Was okay with the Mike Stud thing?
Yeah.
He did like the Q&A, and he was like something about like we're gonna play the Bears.
He kind of gave it away there. Yeah.
I mean, it's just the Steelers are clearly patient. He I think wants to go there. He just doesn't want to do OTA.
The lack of activity for them on the quarterback front leads me to believe.
I mean, and I think, like I said, I think Kirk Cousins would be like the panic button move. Yep. They're like, oh, Rodgers is just gonna retire. Like,
yep.
There's still this weird part of me that think Rodgers was waiting this long to hope that McCarthy sucks and that the Vikings like give him a shot. Because I had heard so much about that's what he really wanted. And obviously, I mean, this like no shit. The scenario is like just the best one in the NFL.
But they're not going to give up on McCarthy.
No, of course not. But I think he was in the mindset of like maybe they would. He's coming off the knee. Obviously, he tore it before last season, so he had plenty of time to heal. Like they say he looks great in training camp and OTAs.
Plus, they've backed him so hard.
I mean, they traded up. They traded up. I mean, they moved up. I think what was it, 2 spots in the first round or a spot? They took him 10th overall.
They've gone out of their way to say he's their guy.
I mean, he has to be, like you said.
The only thing to me, I think, it wouldn't be that McCarthy sucks. It'd be if he re-injures himself.
I guess that too. Fair. That's fair.
I think that's the path, and so far not happening.
No, and I think they just, like you said, they invested a big draft pick in him. You lost the first year. And I mean, so much of the appeal of these young quarterbacks is like getting them on the rookie deal.
Right.
So you already like 1 year's like gone. Like you paid him for a year that he didn't play.
Right.
And I mean, if you invested this pick in him and O'Connell's a quarterback guy, he picked him, like, you got to just go. Like, I think you got to just go. And I think with him, McCarthy, as much as the stuff was made about, like, he didn't throw as much at college and stuff, I think with the situation they have in Minnesota, like, you're going to know, like, pretty early, like, if he's the guy or not, just because the situation's good. You're like, this is not going to be a situation where he like, has, like, a bad year. And not that he couldn't get better, but he's not going to have a bad year and be like, oh, like, we just need to, like, get this team better around him. Like, it's fucking great.
Offensive line. Justin Jefferson.
Offensive line, great. Receivers, great. Yeah. Stud, like, one of the best tight ends in the league.
Yeah.
One of the best quarterback, like, offensive coaches in the league.
And, like, well, are they in a dome still?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They're in a dome.
Yeah. I'm just not in football brain yet, so, like,
the new one's a dome.
Yeah. Perfect conditions, also. Good throwing conditions.
Yeah, no, I just think they're in a spot to win. So what I want to do is, on DraftKings in alphabetical order, I get the win totals up. We're going to go through each one, just give our knee jerk.
Yep.
Talk about each one for a second. Mm-hmm. So first one, we got the Cardinals. Theirs is over 8.5. It's over under 8.5. The under 8.5 is minus 120.
8-9 last year.
Over 8.5 plus 100. They're such like a weird team because I feel like they made some moves, but like they didn't do like a ton.
The team isn't that different.
That's what I'm saying. Like they didn't make like any like astronomical changes. The roster
they added some defensive guys. Looks like maybe a little bit. What's different on offense here? Not much.
I think you're just hoping like year 2 with Marv.
Yeah, that's really it. You're hoping
he didn't have as big a year as a lot of people thought.
He started hot. And then,
he weirdly that first game he did like nothing.
No, and then like right after they were like, wait, we have Marvin Harrison.
I can remember it was game 2 or 3. He had like 2 touchdowns, 140 yards in the first quarter.
Yeah.
I think it was
like after there was
the
like
Rams. They beat the shit out of the Rams, and he went nuts.
Yeah. But then it faded. Like the second half, there kind of wasn't much going on. I'm just not a Kyler guy, man. I don't think I ever will be. I don't think he's a winner in any way, shape, or form. He is a perfect like Arizona Cardinals quarterback to me. We're just going to put up some stats. I'll run around a little bit. They're never going to be taken seriously in the NFC.
I think they're in such a weird spot where they gave him that big contract.
They were kind of forced to.
And then they knew they knew immediately like he got hurt and they immediately were like, this is not going to.
The moment that contract was signed and they had to put it in the video game clause, it was a very bad sign.
He just, he's in that spot where like, I don't think he's bad at all, but he's not like that guy in the NFL at least. I think he's good enough to stay around. Like, I think he'll be an NFL starter for, like, pending, like, injuries and whatever, like, a decent amount of time. Like, I think he'll be a starter for a while.
Yeah.
But I don't know.
It's just not he can be a starter. You can make a lot of money. He's not going to win.
But we used to 8-9 last year. Like, I kind of see, I'll go under 8.5.
I'll go under 8.5.
I think that's kind of where they're at. I think they'll win, like, 7 or 8 games. They're kind of just blessed.
Also, that division's going to be better this year.
Yeah, I think the Rams are really good.
Niners will be better.
Niners will be better, but they lost a lot. But I still believe they'll be better.
I still think.
I think the Seahawks are gonna stink, but that's just me.
Okay.
I'm just such a. I've went a million times about Darnold. I just think he's not the guy.
I know you like Geno.
I do.
I'm not a Geno guy.
That's why I think
the fact that they won 10 games with Geno, I think they can find a way to win some games too.
See, that's why I think he's such an upgrade. I think my prediction is that people are going to see how big of a gap there's between the two of them, and you're going to see them fall quite a bit. Obviously, they lost DK too. That's my prediction. That's kind of my hot take. I'm kind of in on the Raiders, but we'll get to them.
They did lose Metcalf, so that is fair.
They did. They did. So their offense should decline, you'd think. But I mean, again,
JSN's great.
We've seen. Yeah, I mean, JSN became the one. Just. It wasn't even like DK was hurt. He just became the
I would lean under though for the Cardinals if we're just shooting from the hip.
Next we got the Falcons. Falcons over 7.5.
How are you just picking these? Oh, it's just alphabetical.
It's alphabetical order.
Okay, I thought it was going to be like standings wise. Okay,
no, it's in alphabetical order.
Got it. Falcons are fascinating.
By city.
What are they?
7.5 minus 140. Over 7.5 minus 140.
They went 8-9 last year, so they're exposed.
I'm taking over here. I've been from pre-draft. I'm a Penix believer.
Yeah. I'm
a Penix guy. I think he can sling it. We didn't see enough last year. He was a little inaccurate for sure, but he only played 2 games. I mean, they had the Commanders in overtime, lost. They got Daniels. I like them though, man. I think their defense is really good. There was too many games last year. We talked about the Chargers game. I remember last year was a brutal beat, and I feel like I just watched a few games of the Falcons last year where I'm just like, man, if this team had even a quarterback with half an arm and a working feet, we might have something here. And I think him with a full year, full off season, I really like him. I just think he's a great. Just the receivers they have. They're talking about they're trading Pitts. That'll be interesting if they end up trading him to
what a disappointment
the Steelers. The Steelers seem like they're talking Jonnu. It's been thrown out there. Pitts has been thrown out there. Apparently, a bunch of teams have reached out about Pitts. So I don't know what they'll do. But I mean, even just with London and Mooney, I still think they got a lot to work with there. They did trade.
They were 6-3 last year with Cousins. Not for the year, but I'm saying just through the 9 games.
Yeah.
6-3.
And they had those 2 great wins over the Bucs. They really were cooking. They had a leg up in the division.
They should have beat the Chiefs.
Yeah, that's what they should have beat the Chargers. They absolutely should have.
That Chiefs game was my my bachelor party in Vegas. That was the final game we were watching, and we were all on the Falcons, and that was just it was a swing game, let's just say, of the whole.
I remember what did they end up losing by? They were 5.5 or 4.5 something. The Falcons, what I remember.
Final possession. It was just they had him beat, and then Cousins does he throw a pick? I don't want to remember this now because it's PTSD. But
I feel like they drove down and didn't score. Maybe they were in close.
It was controversial too. Oh, now I'm gonna look at it because I'm a masochist. Turned it over on downs on the 13-yard line.
I knew it. I knew they drove down far and they were right there. And
they had 1st and 10 on the KC 22 with 1:44 to go, down 5. So any touchdown wins it for you. And then pass right, horse collar attack. Oh wait, sorry, incomplete pass. Yeah, it's just brutal. I don't want to look at this. It's making me sad. But anyways, what I'm saying is they were 6-3 last year, through 9 games with Kirk Cousins. And he was dog shit.
Yeah.
So now you put in Penix, and the offense is going to flow. You can use Bijan more. You got Darnold. You got some pieces there. I think they could be good.
Yeah, I'm going to say over 7.5 there. Even though I still think the Bucs are the class of that division right now.
But they're probably a fun flyer to win the division.
Sure. No, absolutely. Because, if Penix hits, they're obviously. I'm a huge Baker guy. I think Baker's great. But
I love Baker.
Next, we got the Ravens. Theirs is over 11.5, minus 115. On this show, it's kind of become a thing. I think we almost locked this. I'm a big Lamar guy. It's not that I'm an anti-Allen guy. I really like Josh Allen, but I feel like I'm such a Lamar guy. I've been forced to in this rivalry that I didn't really want to be in, where I'm on the Lamar side. But I just think they're great. I don't care what anyone says about the playoff, whatever. I really believe in my heart, my soul, in my brain, as well, my head, that they're gonna get over the hump at some point and make that get to the Super Bowl, win a Super Bowl with Lamar. I hope it's. Obviously, I would love for it to be the Giants, but that's not gonna happen. I would love to see them do it. I'm gonna take over 11.5. I just still think they're one of the classes of the National Football League. They're just. With their run game with Henry's ridiculous. They just gave him a bump.
Defense is solid.
Defense is still going to be really good. Should maybe even better.
I feel like they were banged up towards the end of the year defensively too. So you get some guys back.
I just love this team. Like I love John Harbaugh. Love John Harbaugh.
They're just sound, man. They're just sound. You know what they're going to be. They're going to be a very solid, very, very, very good team.
I just think they're a team like
as long as they all stay healthy.
The thing they have, like defense and run game, like you can rely on that. Like with Henry and Lamar, like that is it's so hard to stop. Defense is really good, well coached. I think they're just a team you can like set your watch to.
Also, a fun guy who was out for most of the last year, Mitchell, the running back.
Keaton Mitchell.
He's a nice little guy, like who you swing outside and you make guys miss on, some screen passes. He's just another level.
Like Justice Hill had some nice moments last year. Like
really good.
I mean, they're a team too. They just draft well. Mm-hmm. Like they just draft really. I'm drawing a blank. Who did they draft this year?
This past year.
They took Mike Green in the second round, who they fucking stole.
Okay.
Stole Mike. He was supposed to be a first round pick. He was the marshal. He had 17 sacks last year. He was nuts. He had some off the field stuff come up. I think they cleared it. That's why he fell. Bad woman stuff. Mm-hmm. But it got cleared to some degree, I think. They were talking about him going he was I don't know if you remember the viral clip of at the combine of the DN just steamrolling the tackle.
Okay.
He was the Punisher, and the guy he steamrolled got drafted in the first or second round. Connerly from Oregon, really good tackles. I forget who they drafted in the first round though. I'm drawing a blank, but I know they took Mike Green in the second round, who's a monster. They always just draft well. Even last year, the guys they drafted Rosengard and some of these guys. Why am I drawing? Who the fuck comes? Mad at myself who they drafted in the first round.
I got it here. No, do I have it here? Not Nate Wiggins. No,
that's who they drafted last year, who was really good at corner.
Oh, Maliki Starks?
Oh, Malachi Starks.
Malachi. Why am I saying?
Really,
it's an interesting way of spelling Malachi.
I forgot that.
Malaki.
Yeah, Malachi Starks.
I guess in theory that's not how you should. Maliki. What?
I forgot about. He was a monster at Georgia. That's him and Kyle Hamilton could easily look up in a year or two, and they're just the best safety duo in the NFL.
They're the class of this division. Bengals and
arguably the best division.
Yeah. You could say they're the class of the AFC in a way. They
are, but they in the class of the AFC. It's tough to say that when they haven't gotten over the hump. But
I know it's tough to say.
I mean, the Bills haven't either. It's kind of they've just been in the war AFC championship.
Are the Chiefs going to take a step back here? I don't want to believe they will, but at some point it's coming.
They have to get beat eventually.
Right.
I mean, obviously Burrow did it the one year, but they have to get beat eventually in the AFC. It has to have at some point. They can't just making these runs, and especially making these deep playoff runs. It's tough, man. Playing that many games over and over and over. Eventually, I just think the Bills or Ravens eventually are gonna. Someone's gonna beat them.
There's so much Lamar Jackson, Aaron Judge comparisons for regular season guys, and then in the postseason. I just want both guys to finally.
I love Lamar so much, man. This guy is such a stud, and I had to sit here with Marty last year and him argue with me that the throw in the 2-point conversion was a bad throw. That literally hit him in his stomach. I mean, you gave me a face like you agree, and it upset me a little bit. I could see your face. It hit him in the stomach.
He just doesn't play as well in the postseason.
But that throw and that drive, he drove them down.
The drive was great.
He drove them down. They go down 2. He puts a ball.
The drive was great.
That literally you couldn't have played. It literally hit him in the gut, and he drops it.
The drive was great. Maybe I don't remember the throw as much, but I remember thinking it was.
It was he made a bad throw early in the game that he had a fumble that got ran back. That was you can't excuse that. He had a bad first half in that game.
Is this the one that Mark Andrews?
Yeah. He had he had a fumble earlier in the game. They were driving and he fumbled, and then they scored a touchdown to go down 2. And on the 2-point conversion, he threw a little out right at the pylon.
Right.
Threw a perfect ball right in his gut, and he just dropped it. And obviously they lost.
Yeah, it's a good throw.
And that was it.
The throw's there.
Marty was half trolling me, but I remember I had people it became a huge discourse on Twitter. I was in the weeds on that one as a Lamar guy. I was on defense for my guy.
No, you can't get on that. But yeah, it was a good drive. But
he's had warranted criticisms of his postseason play. I'll own that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'll take over 11.
I'll take the over 2.
Next, walk right into Bills. Bills over 11.5 is minus 160 though. For the Ravens, it was only minus 115.
Terrible division.
Over 11.5. I'd have to say yes here. Or over. I'd have to say over here too. Because, I mean, as much as, I'm a Fields guy, I think the Jets are going to be bad still. I think the Patriots will be better, but still like not great. I'm a huge Vrabel guy.
So the Bills are adding Josh Palmer,
the receiver from Chargers,
right? Who was probably
solid player. Like I think a guy that Josh Allen could make good. He can maybe put up some numbers, make some.
I agree with that.
I can picture him in the Gabe Davis role, and I'm a big Shakur guy. I think Shakur is awesome.
Yeah, I do too.
Shakur guy. I also think I'm a Coleman guy as well. I think he's due to take another.
Joey
step.
Bosa's on this team now.
Yep, crazy.
Wild. That's just a name that just jumps out to you.
Yeah,
man. Why not? I mean, the division sucks.
Dude, I'm telling you, I'm as much as like I said, I'm a Lamar guy. Like I still love Josh Allen. Who like would love to see them get over the hump too. But yeah, I'll go over 11.5.
Looking at their schedule too, they play the NFC South.
All right, very very favorable. That's probably why it's -160.
Yeah, so you're playing. They've got they're home to the Saints in Week 4. That's a 14-point spread.
Yeah, easily.
Something like that.
Sure.
So
yeah,
there's some favorable matchups. There's also a nice stretch here of just really fun games. Week 11 through 14 is home to the Bucks, at the Texans, at the Steelers. Both those games are one of those a prime game Thursday night. The other one's the game of the week. CBS is the Steelers game, and then you're home to the Bengals. That's a fun little 4-game stretch of just like really fun.
Start the season
games. No, that's week 11 to week.
Oh, I'm sorry. They said week 1 to week 4.
No, sorry, week 11 to week 14.
All right, nice little middle stretch there for them. But yeah, I'll take the over just on schedule.
I'll take the over. Yeah,
how good they are. Like this, they're on a mission.
It sucks. You got to lay it a little bit, but it's probably worth it.
Then this is I think maybe one of the teams I'm most intrigued by, just interested in the season of what direction they're going to. The Panthers. Panthers over 6.5 -125.
Panthers.
I want to believe in the Panthers. I want to believe in Bryce Young. I'm a big Cornelius guy. I think he's a great quarterback guy, great offensive guy. I just love what they did, like building the offensive line. Like they invested money in all those guards. I think they really paid off. They were great.
McMillan obviously is very fun.
The run game was good. Like Chuba Hubbard was great last year. Really, really good. It's the defense. It's like can the defense improve? They invested some in the defense. They've obviously invested draft capital in the defense, but they went McMillan first round.
Yep.
I want to say over because I want to like believe also in a bad division they can like take that. Maybe they get a couple wins over the Saints.
This isn't the hardest schedule in the world, man.
That's what I'm saying. Like I think they can, like with the division, everything else. I think they can win 7 games. I think confidence, everything with the quarterback is so big, and I give Bryce Young a ton of credit because I was definitely someone who like when he got benched, I was like, oh, like it's over. Yeah, like he's done. Like he's going to be holding the clipboard.
He was playing scared, and then he started to let it rip in the second half. We'll see if that's a precursor, if that leads to anything, or if that was just more of an aberration. It's tough to tell. But they start off at Jacksonville, at Arizona, home to Atlanta, at New England, home to Miami, home to Dallas, like at the Jets. Like it's not the hardest 7 games.
Not at all. Not at all.
Why can't they go 4-3 in those? They
absolutely could. I'll say over because I think they have a lot of winnable games.
It's tougher from there. Right, I stop at that point because then they host Buffalo and go to Green Bay. Yeah, not great. But then you also got 2 Saints games after that stretch. So like you can piece together 7 wins here. Mm-hmm. I think I'd take over.
Next we got the Bears.
Braves 1-0.
Let's go. We got Bears over 8.5. This is the first one that's straight pick. I'm like -110 each way, 8.5. I'm gonna say under. I think everyone's gonna say over here. I got fooled last
8.5.
8.5.
I think 4 wins more than what they got last year.
Yeah, I'm saying under. I got fooled last year by I was like in on the Bears. I'm pissed at myself for not seeing the clear, like falling in love with the toys because I always like preach like don't fall in love with the toys, and I fell in love with them with that team. Mm-hmm. And the offensive line just sucked, and they had a million other reasons why they were bad too, even though the defense was not bad. But yeah, I like the under here. I just think it just seems too like everything's too sexy. Like fool me once, shame on you. Mm-hmm. Not gonna do it again.
Let me tell you this. I don't know. They're gonna win 1 road game this year. I think they win 1. Here's their road schedule. At Detroit, loss. It should be. At Vegas, they're going to win that game. They should. Then they're at the Commanders.
Even Vegas, like that's not a gimme. I don't.
Yeah, but I'm going to give it to them for the sake of this. So sure. they get at the Commanders, at the Ravens, at the Bengals, at the Vikings, at the Eagles, at the Packers, at the Niners.
Oh my God!
They're going to win 1 game on the road.
Oh my God!
That's not easy.
Yeah, that makes me feel way better about the
That's
under.
not good.
Makes me feel a lot better about the under.
Obviously, some of those teams I'm saying are literally in the division. You have to go on the road to them.
Yeah, of course.
But their non-division road schedule is fucking horrible.
That's insane.
Yeah. Now
that needs to get talked about more. That's a crazy. I mean, all those teams could be playoff teams, and it wouldn't be crazy at all.
Yeah. Very bad.
Good God.
Now, obviously, they got some nice home games. Like they're home to the Saints, they're home to the Giants, home to the Browns. But then you got other division games there, and those are going to be tough.
Oh,
I don't know, man. I would take the under. If you're taking the over there, you think they're going to win 2 or 3 of those road games, kind of, unless they're going undefeated at home, which ain't happening.
I don't see it. Yeah.
So give me.
I even like what they did, fixing the O-line, whatever. But that's all got to come together. I don't know. Just scary. Next, we got the Bengals. Bengals over 9.5 is -150. I'm also a big Joe Burrow guy.
Love Joe.
I mean, I wish Meek was here. So some of the slander and just nonsense talk about Joe Burrow's name last year on the show disgusts me. It's the defense. It almost feels like, how can the defense be worse? That's how I feel.
Coordinator.
Their defensive coordinator. Yeah. It was the dude. Wasn't it the guy? He was in college last year, I thought. Bengals.
They lost Hubbard though.
Oh, it's Al Golden.
Oh yeah, that's right. The from the Notre Dame.
Yeah,
that's right. I knew he was a college guy.
Okay.
It just feels like they can't. Yeah, shout out Sam Hubbard, legend, Ohio State legend.
We'll see how much a coordinator matters here, because the personnel's still roughly the same.
It just feels like they can't. They almost can't be worse. They were so bad. I mean.
Also, what's the deal with Hendrickson? Are they trading him?
I think it sounds like they're both very line in the sand right now.
Well, that's not good.
No, it's horrible. And they're also, it's so funny, talking about the toys and receivers and all that. Paid both their receivers the bag. Highest paid number 2 receiver in the history of the National Football League. But you're
stunning. I don't think anyone expected Higgins and Chase.
I didn't think they. I thought I knew they would sign Chase. They don't they had.
Oh yeah. But Higgins.
But also they fucked themselves on Chase. That deal's $30 million less than they do before the season.
Yep.
They fucked.
Well, the thing is, they have a notoriously cheap ownership, and they've always been that way. So doing something ahead of time, the smart way, not going to happen.
The thing I don't understand with NFL teams, especially you're the Bengals. You drafted Jamar Chase top 5. You thought incredibly high of him. He's immediately came in the NFL and been one of the best players in the league, period. Not even just one of the best football players in the NFL, period. I don't understand why these teams, say, not give him the deal beforehand, make him hold out and then play out the year. It just feels like you're betting literally against your own guy who you believed in, and now when it's push comes to shove, you're betting against him. I don't understand the logic, because the thought process is
you're kind of hoping
you're hoping it's a down year, and it's but if he has a down year, then the team might probably stinks. I don't understand the logic of almost hoping for a down year.
Fair point.
And then if he's good, you want him to be good,
right?
Then you're gonna pay him more money. If you believe he's that good, you have believed you believe from day one he was that good.
Yep.
He's done everything since he's came through your door to prove he's probably even better than that. And I don't know. I just don't understand it. NFL teams have done it forever. It kind of just confuses me, because they just end up in the long run. The AAV just goes up. They just pay more money. They could have given him all he wanted $1 more than Jettis. He just wanted that contract basically. They ended up having to give more. Next we got the Browns. We'll do.
What do you think about Bengals?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm gonna go over. I'm such a Burrow guy. I'll go over. I think the defense
they have a tough schedule.
Has to get better somehow. That division's having 6 games in that division.
Yeah, it already sets
it almost feels impossible for it to be easy. It has to be at least somewhat difficult.
They're playing the North, by the way. The NFC North is there.
Man,
at a conference. So that really doesn't that's a tough division.
Yeah, brutal. I mean, just brutal. I mean, it's that division and your division and the NFC North.
Look at this.
I think are both brutal divisions.
Not to Francesa you guys here, but this stretch of at Minnesota, at Denver, home to Detroit, at Green Bay, home to Pittsburgh. Then you got the Jets and Bears at home, but then at Pittsburgh again. It's not easy, man.
No, not at all.
Then you got road games at Buffalo and at Baltimore mixed in there. Dude, they go 3-game, week 13 to 15. At Baltimore, at Buffalo, home to Baltimore. That's fucking brutal. That's insane.
Two Baltimore in 3 weeks is
sandwiching Buffalo between 2 Ravens games.
That's diabolical.
Sucks.
They're preying on Joe Shiesty's downfall.
Yeah,
He's gonna have to score 1,000 points in those 3 games to win like one of them.
What was the number?
9.5 minus 150 though.
Under.
Over 9.5. Yeah, I'll say over just to believe in Joe. That's blind Joe belief. Also, love just getting like an instant notification right now that Shane Steichen said that Anthony Richardson's dealing with shoulder problems.
Daniel Jones, get ready.
Daniel Jones time. We'll do a couple more before we do picks. We can do more tomorrow and stuff.
Yeah, this is fun.
We'll do 2 more and then we'll do picks. We got the Browns.
Oh boy.
Yikes.
What a tough team to get a read on.
Hear this one. And I shouldn't be laughing because the Giants are like in the same boat, but over 4.5.
All right.
Minus 160, over 4.5 wins.
They won 3 games
for the Cleveland Browns. Can they up that by 2?
They think they're gonna. They think they're going to win by 2 more games.
Oh, man. It's another one where, like, you almost feel like, how can it get, like, worse? I mean, I want to say that I love DTR in college, like, one of the more fun quarterbacks to watch. He's one of the worst NFL quarterbacks ever.
I hated him in college.
I loved watching him. He was exciting.
I hate him even
fun.
more now.
Why'd you hate him in college? He was exciting in college. He could run.
You lose me money. He'd find ways to lose me money.
Yeah, it's so funny how things like that happen because I think of him like, that's the guy who won me money. Like, that's the guy who I bet a few times. You want to know what it was? Because when he first got the job, like it was like his sophomore year, I think, or maybe even freshman year. When he first got the job, he came in and was good. And there was a few times where there'd be like +6, and they like won a couple of games, like outright as dogs. Then I'm like, this is the guy. Like, I love this fucking guy. That's funny. He's on the wrong end. I guess as he got like more into his career,
I just find ways to lose. That's really what comes down.
He also would just do some hurdles and like some like I just thought he was like just electric as fuck.
You know what I just realized? Nick Chubb just isn't on a team.
No, he's on the Browns.
I don't think so.
Are you sure?
He's not on their depth chart. I think he's a free agent.
Was he a free agent? I mean, they drafted 2 running backs, obviously, in the first like 4 rounds of the draft.
He's a free agent, dude.
I thought he still had
being linked to the Commanders. That's the latest report from.
No shit. I thought he still had another year left. Oh. I mean, obviously they drafted Judkins like early in the 2nd round. They drafted Sampson like the 4th. So they drafted 2 rookie running backs.
Yep.
So I guess the writing was on the wall.
I just didn't realize he wasn't.
I thought he was on the roster, but I thought he was a potential like cut candidate maybe. Damn.
Must have had an out in the deal or something.
He'll end up being good for someone, guaranteed. If he's
I don't know if he physically can get back to what he was.
Back to what he was, no. I think but he also was like elite. So
yeah, he would just be a monster.
He
was the guy I was wrong on. Who was he? Who did he?
Sony Michel.
Yeah, I was in college. Michel out of college, going to that draft, I wouldn't have touched Chubb, and that was just obviously so wrong.
Every time I think of Sony Michel now, I had a friend like one of my best friends in that Rams Super Bowl with the Patriots. Mm-hmm. He like the final score. I don't know if you remember. They had like a 3rd and short where they were in like field goal range, and needed like I had a friend who like with the boxes, like one of those boxes where like it's all score changes. So obviously there was like no scores. So the total was enormous. It was like 40K, like 40,000 for the final.
Oh.
And because there was no score changes, so it's just whatever's left, like they got at the end.
Yeah.
And he needed like that first down for the 40K. So I'll forever like remember being like the most awkward for like just watching him like crumble to the floor as they get stopped and then don't go for it on 4th down and kick the field goal because they need the first down. The game's over.
They won the clock.
And I remember one of those awkward, like one of those where you don't even say goodbye. You kind of just like leave.
Oh my god.
That was like, every time I think of Sony Michel, that moment like flashes in my brain of him, my friend against the wall, just like falling to the ground and just like. Insane. When we're seeing the field goal unit come on the field. Yeah. But we'll do one more, then we'll do picks.
Fun one they have, by the way. Wait, you say over? Over under.
Actually, you're right. I didn't even say.
Fun guy they have, Harold Fannin Jr.
Awesome. I like a lot of their. Also, you know what? I'm going to say over because Shadur is going to start some games.
I think so too.
Shadur is going to start some games for this team.
I go over as well, and I'm
a fan of guys. Love Fannin. Fannin's great. He really does remind me, like obviously, I don't know if he's gonna do this in the pros, but in college, he really does remind you of like an Antonio Gates, like the body type, like the way he moves. He's a little stiffer than Gates, like hips wise. He's funny. You watch him run. He kind of does a little like the waddle kind of thing. But I mean, he's a fucking freak athlete.
Also, yeah, Mason Graham in the defense. Like, there's
I'll respect game there, even though it's fuck Mason Graham for life.
Yeah,
the guy's
like
he's a great player.
There should be improvement here.
It feels like there has to be. It feels like that. But I said that about a few teams, and I'm like, is there? I don't know.
I think it's
I'll take over just for like.
I haven't even looked at the schedule, but it's an over team for me.
Then we'll do this one last, and then we'll do picks.
Although, by the way, real quick, schedule wise, I should look at the real quick. Browns start with home to the Bengals, at Baltimore, home to Green Bay, at Detroit, home to Minnesota, at Pittsburgh.
Getting their own division, and then your division is, they're fucked.
That might,
you know what?
might go under.
And it's tough too because I like Stefanski. I think Stefanski's a good coach.
I do too.
I think he had a good thing.
I think he was so tied with the whole Watson thing, and he didn't want that.
No, I think I think it's been more like roster construction, like that's been out of his control that they've fucked up.
Yeah. That's a tough start to
I don't even want to rant about I've ranted a million times about the Baker thing, the way they did.
Oh, horrible.
Because I don't mind doing it because I was.
They would have fucking torn shoulder and they would get lost.
I was saying it in real time. I was saying it in real time. They treated this guy like trash. He played through a torn labrum and they threw him to the wayside and look where they are now. Congrats.
Nuts.
And I don't care about because I've seen Browns fans be like I've said I wasn't going to talk about it, but here I am.
There you go.
I can't help it. I can't help myself because Browns fans, they love to be like, oh, but he was shit on the Panthers and he had a cup of coffee with the Rams and he was out. It only went like that because you threw him to the trash. Like the Panthers just stink.
Right.
And then he got thrown into the Rams.
No one could win with the Panthers.
He got thrown into the Rams for a second and fucking won a game, like literally off the couch. Not off the couch, I should say, but like literally flew from like one city to the other, started and just won.
Yep.
The guy's, he deserves everything that's been coming to him because he's a real guy. Just a ball player. We'll end it with the Cowboys. We'll do picks. Over 7.5 for the Cowboys, -160.
Man, are they low on them?
Yeah, I'm surprised. I thought it'd be like 8.5.
Is Dak starting the year? Is he
yeah, I think so. I think he's going to be fine.
That's crazy that over-under is that low.
I think he's good day one. Man, it's tough to say. Like, it's almost hard to say under because you think, like, they have enough talent that it's like, how can they be bad? They're also, like, it's crazy. He's going to be throwing a CeeDee Lamb and Pickens. Yeah. Like, the talent they have on offense is crazy. Just crazy.
Why is it 7.5?
The defense might suck.
Yeah, and I guess Dak just like in general just isn't that good. I've never been a Dak guy.
He's a regular season guy. I'm obviously just as a Giants guy, I'm not either. But he's the regular season warrior, so that's where I get like he'll light it up in the regular season. But I just know like if they make the playoffs, he's just not going to play well.
Javonte Williams is a running back. That's fun. And Javonte, but
I think he's just very whatever. I don't think
Miles Sanders on this team.
Neither of those guys move the needle for me.
No, I definitely.
I like Deuce Vaughn better.
Deuce Vaughn,
big Deuce Vaughn guy.
Deuce Vaughn is there.
But you know what? I'll go under with the Cowboys. I don't know. They just don't.
I'd go under as well.
Like them. Like also, I just think the way like the coaching hire sucked. Like they clearly didn't want to hire him.
Yeah, I don't like Shoddy.
They should. If they're gonna hire Schottenheimer, they should have just kept McCarthy.
Right. Like that's not a needle mover. That should be the Dallas Cowboys head coach.
Yeah, it just doesn't do it for me. We'll do. We obviously have a lot more. I think we did like 9 or 10. We'll do some more tomorrow. Start with the Broncos.
We got all summer long.
Broncos, Lions. We got some exciting ones. Packers after that. Mm-hmm. But I'll wrap with picks. What do you got tonight?
I'm gonna go with that Caruso 3 prop. It's over 1.5 plus 124. I wrote, this is irrelevant for this, but I wrote Drake Brawl. I didn't take the Braves, but I took Baldwin to have 2+ bases in this game. He is 0 for 1. I am going to take the Mets plus 115. Peterson is just as solid as it gets. So I'm running with them. And does anything else stand out? Give me the Pirates plus 130 with Keller on the bump against Valdez. I think that's a nice number for them. The Yankees are minus 285.
Yeah, we're freed.
Holy moly. No night games tonight, by the way. No late night games.
Yeah.
So it's just all, they're going to let you watch the finals. And I'll probably be on the Thunder at some point, but that's not a pick for me. But I think last minute I'll probably just end up taking them.
Yeah, I think I was on the social group. I put in Thunder -9 a couple days ago.
Looks good for you now because it's.
Yeah, I'm glad. I thought it would kind of stay there. I just loved it so much. I'm also, like I said, I'm on the Braves already. They're up 1-0 in the third, and I'm on the Nationals Cubs over 9.5. On Jalen Williams over 22.5 points. I'll tweet out some other props I have. I think I'm going to take some Shea stuff.
I'll say this: I'm wary of props in this series because they've had the Thunder's ability to just blow teams out of the water.
That's my kind of thing. Like if they blow them out, though, I have significantly more on the spread.
Sure. So
I'll take if that's what it is. Like I'll sign up for that right now if that's the case. But I definitely can understand that because it wouldn't shock me at all if they blew them out.
Yeah.
I mean that's what I'm betting on in theory. And they got to win by double digits. But yeah, Thunder, Nationals, Cubs over 9.5. Like I said, Braves, Jalen Williams over 22.5 points, and I'll tweet out the rest.
Love it.
All right. Appreciate the boys behind the glass. We'll see you guys tomorrow. Then Clemmer's back tomorrow, and then we'll have the full crew next week. But thanks, everyone, for listening. Like the stream. God bless. We'll see you tomorrow.